What is up? This is Keith doing an update on my rimless 35-gallon tank. Still in the works, obviously. But I got as far as doing all the research and selecting what foam to use for underneath it, and I went with 1-inch sheet of, I guess it's expanded polystyrene. This is the stuff that if you can get these little white crumbles off of it. From what I read, that's what you want, kind of alleviate the point loading on the bottom panel. So I got it cut to size, and the nice thing about this stand is it has this, it's recessed like about 1.5 inches, and with a 1-inch foam in the bottom panel of glass, that kind of just puts it right about level. So it actually worked out pretty well. So that's what's up. I'm going to get this going up in the next week or so. So I'll probably do an update on like the hardscape, and then keep it rolling once I put some plants in there and such. But that's it for now. Look for this tank coming soon. So I'm getting started here on my 35-gallon rimless tank, and I decided to do a sand substrate. So I went with a number 30 silica sand. It's kind of like a sandblast sand, but it's a good sand to use. It's silica based, so it's inert. It doesn't change like your water hardness, one way or the other, which is good. And then also, it's uniform in size. That's where the number 30 comes into play. It's like kind of filtered to a specific size because it's has a specific use for the sandblasting. It has to be a pretty consistent size grain. So that's the other thing. So what I did is I followed the instructions on the first layer, laterite, which is a source of iron. I've used raw clay in the past in my dirt bottom tanks. This is going to be a sand tank, so I'm going to use this laterite as like an iron source in the substrate. And what I did is I followed the instructions. I used about 2/3 of that. This box is suited for 55 gallons. And the tank's 35, so I figured about 2/3. So 2/3 of that, let's see if I can get it in the light. There you go. That's a little better. So the laterite is the stuff on the right, and it's kind of a grainy, granular looking thing. And then the other half is wet sand, so that's about equal parts wet sand and laterite. I'm going to thoroughly mix this, and then I'm going to kind of use it as a base layer beneath all the sand, so when the roots of the plants get down to it, it'll have some iron sources. And then I'm going to probably do some root tabs and stuff like that, in addition to my normal liquid fertilizing routine. So that's what's up. I'm getting this tank up and running. Might not have plants for a little while, but I'm at least going to get the hardscape done this weekend, and I'll keep videos coming. Alright, thanks. So I got the laterite sand mixture down as the base for my substrate. I went ahead and kind of pushed it off the front for 2 reasons. I don't want to, I want to just see straight sand in the front. I'm not so concerned about the sides. But in the front, I don't really want to see 2 different kinds of substrate. I just want to see the sand. And also, I don't want to encourage the plants to root in the front. I want to keep, I'm not going to plant up this, I don't know, it's probably like a 2-inch section. I'm going to leave the front of the tank kind of bare of plants. And maybe even around the side too, because I want some free swimming space. I'm going to do some Coreodoris catfish in here with the sand substrate, so definitely want to have some open free swimming room in there so I can kind of just watch them, and then the rest will be pretty heavily planted by the time I'm all done with it. But that's what's coming next. I'll be dropping the rest of the sand in here over the top of this and kind of get my woodwork going, so look for that video probably tomorrow. Alright, what up, it's Keith coming at you. Stage 3 of my 35-gallon rimless tank. I went ahead and dropped the sand substrate. I did wash the sand first. Mainly when you buy sand, it has a lot of dust in it. So I didn't go overboard. I took about a half a bucket full, and I'd rinse it like 4 or 5 times. Fill the bucket up a little bit with water, kind of agitate it, and then kind of pour off the the murky water and just kind of keep repeating that process till it starts running a little cleaner. And then started putting it in here. And the tool I've been using to kind of level it is just a regular old spatula that kind of has a flat side on it. And what I do is I just take it on the flat side, and it's going to be kind of hard to film. Okay, and then I just kind of slowly slope it the way I want to and get everything nice and even. So that's a little tip. Gonna get the hardscape going next, so I'll do a video as soon as that's done. Alright, peace. What's up? It's Keith again, coming at you Saturday afternoon. Baby's taking a nap. I'm working on getting my 35-gallon rimless tank going here. One thing that I like to do when I'm aquascaping, I like to have all my materials just laid out in front of me. And the OCD in me kind of wants to group my rocks. I'm going with round river cobble in here because I live in Southern California and every other house has it in their yard, so it's real easy to come by. If I just see a piece that I like, I kind of just grab it. Most of this stuff was scavenged from my neighborhood. And then I got these wood pieces that I've had in the backyard in a big tub soaking for the last couple weeks. I changed the water quite a few times just to kind of leach out some of the tannins, and I did kind of scrub on them a little bit to get as much of like the little leftover dirt clumps and stuff that was on the driftwood off. So it's fairly good. I'm calling it good to go in the tank at this point. So I have those pieces all laid out. This big one here is going to be the centerpiece. Probably going to have it upright somehow, but got some other nice pieces I'm going to work in there, and this will be rolling real quick here, keeping it going. Alright, later. What is up, folks? This is Keith. Hardscape is complete in my 35-gallon rimless. Probably spent the last half hour, 45 minutes kind of messing with the wood and the rocks, and this is what I came up with. It's what I really like. Got some nice movement with the wood and kind of opposite directions. I don't know, just the way everything kind of fit together just seemed really nice like this. So that's what I went with. Kind of looks like a cluster of roots or something like that coming up out of the sand. It's got some nice little caves and passageways through here, which will look pretty cool when the plants fill in. And just picture like, little dwarf cichlids and cories and whatnot scuttling around doing their thing. But I actually really am excited to get this one going. It's been a long time since I had anything except this little 5-gallon tank, which is actually doing pretty good, but it's not enough. My creative juices were needing to get going again. This is really my favorite part of setting up a tank, is actually creating the aquascape. And I did put some forethought into it, and I left, you can see, like kind of little areas where I'm going to put plants. I'm probably going to do some sort of crypt there. I left the back kind of open, so my plan is to, from about here over, do one type of stem plant, and then maybe from here in this corner do another kind of stem plant, and leave this middle area open. There's some nice little holes in the wood, and there's some nice little seams where I'm going to sink some anubias and different stuff in there. I'm gonna do something in here. I'm just gonna have little sections, in the sand, where I'm gonna probably do different sorts of plants. So I don't know if that's like a Dutch style or whatever. Definitely do some crypts here, like between this passageway. This one I might leave open, because I think when everything's all said and done, that open middle will look pretty sweet. So that's what I'm working with. It's gonna probably might be a little while before I get all the plants up in here, but I'll definitely gonna fill it up with water and get the filter going and kind of get some of this murkiness out, and then we'll see about getting some plants. Alright, hope you enjoyed. So I got the tank all full of water. took about 25 gallons of water to fill it up, which is something that's good to know with your tank, because when you first set it up, you're going to have to subtract some of the volume of water because of your aquascaping materials and your substrate. So mine ended up being 25 gallons of water. I have the heater and a thermometer in place. The heater's not on. I have it at the lowest setting, but it's not plugged in. What I'm going to do, and what you should probably think about doing yourself, is I just fill this up with like cold water because there's nothing in it. I'm starting fresh. Let your heater and the water kind of just sit for a while and equalize, because you can run a risk of maybe shattering your heater if you have really cold water and you turn it on. That way everything kind of becomes the same temperature, and when it all equalizes, then I'm going to turn the heater on the lowest setting and then kind of gradually like turn it up and get it up to around probably 75. So that's a little tip for heaters on new tanks, so you don't shatter them. Probably won't happen, but it could anyway. Problem I already came across is I started running the filter, and this thing kicks out so much water. It works a lot better with the old style, like a frame tank where you can have a glass top and something up against it. But I just ran it for like a couple minutes and it like totally just threw water all over my light fixture. So that's going to have to be amended pretty quick. What I'm going to do is, I was going to do it anyway, and this will just expedite it, is run out and get a canister filter for this tank, which I think will look a lot better with the rimless tank anyways. So got to talk to the wife when she gets home, see if maybe I can go run down there and throw it on the credit card. So that's how we roll. All right, man. We'll keep it coming, and maybe I'll pick up some plants and stuff, and I'll show you guys what's up with the tank as it progresses. Thanks for watching. What's up? This is Keith. It's Sunday afternoon. Just finished setting up my new canister filter. It's an Eheim Eco Pro. This one's rated for up to 60 gallons, and should be more than enough for the 35. And what I did is I put I had to zip tie it, that's why it's all scrunchy on the top, but a little foam pre-filter on the intake just so no sand gets into the filter and jacks it all up. It's got the nice little green pipes. My hope is that most of this will be covered with plant material, and you won't be able to see much of any of the equipment except for maybe the circulation fan. That's a high door. I forget what the GPM on it is, but it's just a little circulation fan. So I kind of set it up as best I could. I got decent water movement throughout the tank, but no like super powerful stuff, except maybe right at the mouth of this guy coming out. You can see there's the bubbles are kind of going. But yeah, good water circulation. This thing's set up overnight. Kind of started to taint the water a little bit. It's looking a little bit dingy from all the wood, but that's fine. I'm not too worried about that. So anyway, I got about $100 worth of plants here, which should be more than 2 bags full, but that's kind of what you get when you go to the local fish store, and I don't mind supporting those guys because they always have something for me down there. Anyway, I'm going to get this planted up in a little bit, and I will do another video right after I do that. I got some Rotala indica for right here, got some Val, got Crip Wenti Red, gonna put those somewhere in here. Got a couple Crip undulatas. I have a little Java Fern mat. I have some Crip Parva I'm going to put in there. I'm going to take clippings of the stargrass from this tank, pop it in here, and then I also have some, I think it's pearlweed or something like that for the carpet in the front. I might have gotten more plants, I don't remember. I just kind of started telling the guy this, 5 of these, 6 of these. So anyway, this will be, I'm thinking once all the plants are in there, it won't even be half as much as I thought it would be, because that's usually what happens. But I'm going to get it planted, and we'll just take it from there. I might kind of just have to clip and replant and kind of fill it in that way over the long haul. But anyway, that's what's up. 35 rimless. Planting coming next, later. What is up, folks? It is Sunday evening, and I've been working on this thing all day. Finally finished though, so here's what I got. We'll start on this side. Got this corner planted up with the valve, which is kind of what I wanted. There is a lot of open sand back there, which will be good for the cories and the other stuff. I may fill in a little bit more valve, but I'm going to keep that back area kind of open like it is right there. You can see I got a ton of Rotala indica just planted up all up around here on this side, and it's actually probably pretty close to half the back of the tank. Just made a little cubby for the filter intake there, and yeah, it's gonna grow in. I'm actually really excited to see what this does. Got some red Cripwenti right there, and I have another one on this side. Bam! Gonna probably get 2 or 3 more and just kind of fill in this little section all with red Cripwenti. That'll look real nice, kind of just right up under in here. And then I have the Crip undulata in this little kind of hole tucked in between. I kind of wanted some green in between this, this big large piece of wood and this other piece of wood to kind of differentiate the two and kind of create the depth. So that went there. Got a matted Java fern that I just kind of like wedged in there, and that'll take over this whole little kind of area right here. But this wood will still be in front of it, kind of once again breaking up the brown with some green behind it, so it kind of interrupts all the wood, and you can kind of make out the different little spires better. I got a couple pieces of good old standby Crip parva. Got some there. Got this pearlweed. Never had it before, but I'm gonna give it a shot. At least I think it's pearlweed or baby tears or something. I don't know. Got a little bit more of it here and a little bit more parva. And what I'm going to do is just kind of clip this and kind of, I'll probably bring it up right to about here and kind of fill in this little area here and kind of bring it up to here. So I don't know, I do want to leave a little bit of open sand in the front, and I do want to leave this open. The ground cover plant won't be so bad. I like these little like sand alleyways that are kind of here and there in the tank. I think that'll be a nice effect once there's fish in there. So that's what's up. 35-gallon rimless done for now. Maybe in about a month I'll have a little more extra coin and then get a few more plants in here. But that's about it. So comment, rate, subscribe, let me know what you think, and look forward to seeing how this tank develops. Thanks for watching.